International's flagship LT Series line haul tractors represent a turning point for the truck maker. International had to come up with a strong product to regain the faith of fleets and drivers and to rebuild market share. The LT looks like it's on track to deliver. The signature grille hints of the ProStar, but the resemblance is only skin deep. This walk-around video shows some of the highlights of the extensive redesign. Equipment editor Jim Park here. I'm at International's Proving Grounds in New Carlisle, Indiana, with a brand new LT Series highway tractor. International redesigned nearly the entire truck based largely on driver consultations to make it a truck drivers would want to drive. Engineers poured over reliability data from previous models to eliminate those weak spots and completely redesigned many of the truck's systems. Let's have a closer look, starting with the exterior.
The entire frontal profile of the LT has undergone quite a facelift. It's not really obvious when you first look at it, but what they've done is they've increased the height of the top edge of the rear edge of the hood. You can see in this picture here, it's fairly dramatically curved and it's quite high. So that helps with the transition with the air coming off the hood and up over the windshield. Down here on the front, we've got the same size grille, but it's removable with only 4 bolts. Nice touch there for cooling system maintenance. And this front bumper is kind of interesting. It's a 3-piece bumper. It's been extensively wind tunnel tested and it's extensively been rounded, but you'll also notice that it sits fairly high up off the ground compared to some of the competitive trucks. Navistar says, aerodynamically speaking, this bumper does as good as any of the others, but it's a lot less susceptible to ground damage. There is a small air dam under there in the center. Again, it's made of a flexible material that's easily sacrificed if it hits something, and it's not terribly expensive to replace. These side skirts on the LT have been redesigned. They're supposedly more aerodynamic, and you see at the back there's a little bit of a flare out to get the wind out over the back wheels. We don't have a sun visor on this model, so you can see the roof profile is really clean, but it's a nice smooth transition from the air, for the air, as it rises up off the hood, up this great big 1-piece windshield, over the roof, hits the air deflector, and then spits off around right and left side or over the trailer. The door, incidentally, is about 2 times stiffer than it was on the previous models, and there's extra sealing around the doors to keep a lot of the wind noise out and to improve the aerodynamics. You can see that rubber strip that runs right up between the door panel and the windshield. That's actually attached to the door, and it helps with the wind treatment and keeping some of that wind noise out. Check out these hood latches here. These are big. They're easy to manage and they're easy to work with. Just lock them down there and they're in place. They're not going to be going anywhere.
International's A26 is now the company's standard engine, replacing the troublesome N13 Max Force. It's based on the MAN D26 engine, which has millions of European miles under its belt, but of course the A26 is optimized for North America. Almost everything under the LT hood is new, from the new radiator and cooling system to a stainless steel laser-welded single-stage EGR cooler. It uses Cummins' single-module aftertreatment system that's said to be able to run up to 600,000 miles before it needs cleaning. The A26 is offered in ratings up to 475 horsepower and 1,750 pound-feet of torque.
And underneath the hood, we've got Navistar's new 12.4-liter A26 engine. We've got now a single-stage variable geometry turbocharger as opposed to the series turbochargers that used to be here. And the whole thing now weighs 2,299 pounds dry weight. Over here, underneath the hood, we've got the headlight assembly. You can see it's easy to access. Drivers can change any of those bulbs in the headlight complex without tools. They all just twist out, quick replacement, and twist back in again. Also new under this hood is a new cooling module. A couple of things to tell you about this. It's smaller and lighter. They've reduced the number of fins per square inch under the hood on the radiator itself because they're not necessarily needed anymore. They've improved the efficiency of the cooling system by adding this rubber gasket right here This butts up flush against the front of the grille on the hood. When the hood's closed, this is more or less sealed right along this line here, which helps direct more of the air directly into the cooling package. One of the advantages to that new front profile on the cooling package is they've been able to reduce the number of fan blades. The A26 has a 6-blade fan, and when you use this cooling package with a Cummins engine, it uses a 9-blade fan. The savings, of course, is about 31 horsepower in engine draw when the fan is on. You get much quieter operation, and because of that seal at the front and the fewer blades on the fan, you actually get less dust kicking up from the ground into the front of the radiator, which of course eventually starts jamming up those fins. Big improvements there in both cooling efficiency and horsepower draw with the smaller fan.
That should give you a pretty good idea of what's new with International's LT tractor and the A26 engine. There's lots more, of course, and we touch on some of that in the cabin sleeper video and the driving review videos. Check those out while you're here, and please give us a like and subscribe to Today's Trucking. At the International Proving Grounds in New Carlisle, Indiana, I'm Equipment Editor Jim Park.